Back. My in-studio guest is Ed Alvarez, the Executive Director of the Commission on Decolonization. If you want to chime into this conversation, give us a call at 632-8255 or 632-TALK. Ed, the registration, again, we were getting closer to 5,000, I guess. 4,000, yeah. Okay. Are we working with the Chamorro groups that are in the different parts of the United States to try to get registrations over there?
Yes, that is a plan. We have to Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and to get those who are still residents of Guam to get registered, because there's still a lot of students.
Now, do we have? Is there any effort to try to register them online? Again, that would be allowable for them to be able to vote come the plebiscite time, because you know, we don't, you know, if they're distance away from us, to have them to appear in person and have to prove, you know, that they're Chamorros and eligible to vote in the plebiscite, the likelihood for them coming here just to do that is probably not likely. But if we have efforts to be able to try to register them online, and maybe some kind of a proof online that they are who they are and are eligible for that, are efforts being made to be able to do that, to reach out that way?
That's a good idea. I mean, I'm sure that can be done in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember when Senator Frank Blas Jr. Was gathering petitions to signatures when they appeared before Congress to fight for war reparations and all that. People were able to get online and register and sign petitions online based on that. Now, this is probably a different situation, because you're registering to be able to cast your vote that, you know, on a particular day. So you have to adhere to whatever the requirements are for that voting population, in this case here in Guam. So those efforts have to be put in there, and whatever guidelines that may constitute that, to be able to have people register online. I think that'll be one way to be able to get more people to.
Right, and I think if that were to happen, they'd have to have some way of checking. Some checks and balances to make sure that they're still a resident of Guam.
I wouldn't know how to recommend how to get that done.
That's something we have to figure out.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, of course, you know, the resurgence of nationalism. But on the other hand, as nationalism rises, you also have forces that are saying, hey, wait a minute, maybe status quo is even better and all that. So you're having a rise in both. How do we balance this out and then continue the nationalism? Because some folks out there think that being a nationalist is a bad thing.
Yeah, well, you know, for the Chamorros of Guam, that can't be something that holds them back. And I'm happy to see that there was a public law passed that mandates more Chamorro Chamorro language instruction time in the schools. And of course, you know, it's you know, 2014, I think, is when it's supposed to begin.
2015 school year, something like that.
And then we had that large registration drive that the Liberation Day parade. And then, you know, we have a lot of, now you see the groups that are coming up, there's more Chamorro now on the TV. So, you know, could we be seeing the beginning of nationalism? Yeah, I think so. Or national pride? I think so. I remember families coming here. Just recently, as last year, there was a Goveo and Cruz family that came back from San Francisco, I think. And the kids, they brought them 15 kids with them, and these kids were just, they were awestruck about what Guam was, and that they were part of this place, and they want to come back. They wanted to know Chamorro. They wanted all the, you know, the things that they get here. And so I think so. I think it's a good, I see a research.
Well, I mean, and that's what, and again, the nationalistic awareness is growing, and it seems to be that, you know, once you're away from Guam, you miss it so much, you become more nationalistic about it. You know, you display more stickers and all that, right? But how do we get that same frame of mind that says that it's nationalistic now to realize that being nationalistic, although you're Guam as an identity, you're a U.S. Citizen, but how do you implant that in the minds of the folks who've had all the comforts of being a U.S. citizen and all that, but we're telling them now you're really not that comfortable because you haven't decided your political destiny. And again, you know, there are folks out there that says, hey, look, I like the status quo. there's nothing wrong there. I have all the benefits of being a U.S. citizen. I have everything accessible to me on the internet because I've got my blue passport. But to try to convince them now, hey, let's try to change it. Let's try to decide our political destiny. It's a whole different thing because there's a negative connotation that, hey, don't own this Apple Card here.
Yeah, good point. But you know, on the other hand of that, on the other side of that are federal laws that weren't meant for us, that stick to us and affect our economy, affect our
economic
growth.
Yeah.
And those things have to be those things have to get out to these people and
sure.
say, yeah, while you think it's okay, this is how the United States federal laws affect you, and it's not something that has been out there.
Right, take a quick break. We'll come back again. More with Ed Alvarez, Commission on Decolonization. Be right back.